Guys, what's up? Lucky Brew here. So, I just had a bit of an idea for a new video, just a little recommendation video. So this one is, if you haven't been to Australia yet, you definitely should. You know, people may say we got like a lot of dangerous animals, but you know, there's also just as many as cute and friendly. But that's not really the topic of today's video. Today's topic is places to visit. Well, up in here in Queensland, in northern Queensland, there's a few good places. Like, so starting off with the Kuranda Scenic Village, just north of Cairns. Like, it's like you arrive in Cairns and then and it's not that far north, like 30 minutes, less than an hour. Then you have Cairns itself, with a few places I recommend visiting. One being Sugar World for the summertime, Cairns Central, Irville, the Australian Army Museum if you're into history and stuff like that, Lagoon, DFO. They also have a laser tag centre there as well. Then next up we have, a bit further south, a place called Babinda. Now, Babinda is a cute little town between Innisfail and Cairns, and it's a great stop for lunchtime as the Babinda Bakery does such delicious pies. I'm not joking. They're delicious, freshly baked, and they're even on TripAdvisor. So yeah, feel free to check them out. It's called the Babinda Bakery or Babinda Bakery, something like that. Along with that, there's two swimming holes there, one known as the Babinda Boulders and then Babinda Creek, both which you can go swimming in, and they're both fresh water. Next up, we have the cute little town of Innisfail, which is situated an hour south of Cairns. A little fun fact, this town used to be called Geraldton, but then it was changed to Innisfail to avoid confusion with another place called Geraldton. Innisfail has a few places worth visiting as well. And maybe not in the Innisfail area, but close to. One is the town pool. We even have our own gel blaster place now. It's only a small one though. Along with that, a few parks like Anzac Memorial Park, Marina Lakes, the Esplanade, yeah. And then next up we have, just out at Marillion, which has the Sugarcane Museum and this other place I went to. I can't remember the name of it. If I remember the name of the place of it, I'll leave it in the comments. And also, there's another place called Eddy Bay, pretty good as well. If you go there, you'll most likely see a cassowary, but don't worry. They're friendly, just don't provoke them. And when you see them coming, just cover up your food, alright? Because if they start eating our food, they lose their will to live in the wild. And so that's why when you see a cassowary, you should cover up your food, because they're looking around for something to eat. So, Then we have Tully, which, if I remember correctly, is the wettest town in northern Queensland. And they have this cute little kitchen store. I can't remember it. I think it's called Cooking & Co. or something like that. But it's a cute little store. I've been there a few times in the past, but if you ever want to make butter chicken, they have butter chicken packets, with all the herbs and spices and whatnot. Next up we have, Cardwell, which is another little town I've passed through. Worth a visit if you want to stop and have a rest stop. Then you got Ingham, A little bit bigger than Cardwell, about size Tully, I think, but another good town worth visiting. I can't really remember what's there, but it's a cute little town, you know, on the way to Townsville. Townsville is a lovely place, and if you want to see it at night, there's a hill known as Castle Hill, and that will give you an undisclosed view of Townsville. Or in other words, like a beautiful view of Townsville at night. And also it's where the Challenge Games held at the Townsville Sports Reserve in July. Right. And also there's a place called the Strand, which is Townsville's waterfront, in other words. And then as you're heading in Townsville from the north, you'll pass by the Townsville Air Force Base, which is pretty cool. You might see a parked plane or something if you're not driving. Next up, these are places I've actually been to on this thing. So next up, my recommendation is Rockhampton. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, you might have seen my TikTok from, was it 2019? About the Rockhampton Zoo. That place is pretty cool, so I definitely recommend checking that out. Next up, you have Gladstone, and it's a nice place, but like I haven't really explored it much, but it's a nice place, I can tell you that. Then we have Bundaberg. I've been there. Also a nice place. Haven't really seen too much of Bundaberg, but Bundaberg is home to the famous Bundaberg rum, of course. Next, and then we have Brisbane. Now, Brisbane is a big city. And if you decide to go drive around Brisbane, take a friend with you and a GPS. You're going to need it, because that place is like a maze for newcomers. But basically, Brisbane is a pretty huge city, and well, it's a great place to visit. Like, you know, there's this burger shop I went to called Brooklyn Depot, and they had these big burgers, like they were that big. I had to like I couldn't even, you know, bite it properly. I sort of had to go at an angle. They were that big. But if I, you know, go there again, I'll take a picture of a burger so you can see how big it is. Alright. Also, just a little further south, there's two theme parks I've been to, Dreamworld and SeaWorld. Both great, amazing theme parks and a great way to spend the day. Also, you know, if you follow me on TikTok, you might have seen some pictures from there and the life-size Lego clones in Phase 2 armor. Then after that we have Canberra. Now I went there for the National Anzac Day a few years ago because my grandfather was originally in the RAME, Royal Australian Mechanical Engineers, I think. I'll have to look that up just to be sure because I keep forgetting. But eventually one day I'll be able to remember it off my head. But yeah, they were leading the National Anzac Day Parade. The little fact about them is they were a unit of engineers who served in Vietnam and other places. I think it was just the Vietnam War, but I'll have to look more into that. But one of the places I recommend visiting in Canberra that I've been to is the War Memorial. It's pretty cool. Like, they have everything pretty much from the Gallipoli landings in 1914 up to the 2000s. And like, you know, they also have some artillery pieces out front, like some like a World War One German railgun, like, you know, a big cannon like this, like the World War II one, the Schwa Gustav or something like that. I can't exactly remember it, But yeah, those are some of the places that I've been to and I recommend. Anyway. Oh, and then there was this other Indian restaurant I went to, but I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately. But if you enjoyed this video and you're thinking of planning a trip to Australia, feel free to send me a message on Instagram, Lucky Root Gaming. And if you want any recommendations, I'll be happy to share them with you.